Good afternoon from the Alton Towers Resort, where it feels like quite a while since I've filmed an Alton Towers video here on the channel. Well, I've got a few coming up this week, so stay tuned for those here on Theme Park Worldwide. This video is dedicated to the reopening of the Skyride. I'm so happy that finally this vital piece of transportation here at the park is back open. As you may know, Alton Towers is a huge park, so it's great to see the Skyride finally back open after a couple of years and a multi-million-pound transformation by the park. A huge refurbishment project, so I'm excited to get back on the Skyride in this video. Gonna go on there, take you along for the ride and take in the awesome views across the park. You get some fantastic views looking out at Wickerman, the gardens, Dark Forest, and I'm looking forward to just stepping back on there for the first time since 2022. So come and join me as we're heading to Alton Towers and down to the bottom of Tower Street for a ride on the Skyride. Now, a cable car attraction has actually operated here at Alton Towers way back since 1963. And that was the original chairlift that ran from what is now Tower Street down to what is now Forbidden Valley. Obviously back then, the park wasn't really split into themed areas. But yeah, it just kind of ran a similar route to what the more modern Skyride does today. And then in 1987, they opened the current version of the Skyride. And not only did it have a station down here on Tower Street and also in what became Forbidden Valley, but they also added a line going across the gardens and over to what is now Dark Forest, and of course the world of David Walliams. So yeah, this system's been operating here at Alton Towers since 1987. And they've done a full refurbishment of all three of the different stations here as well. And this is obviously the station which is closest to the main entrance here on Tower Street. There's a look at the main entrance just over there. So you come straight down Tower Street and the entrance to the Skyride is here on the left-hand side. All new signage, all painted up nice and fresh, and yeah, it looks great. And I'm loving the signage over here as well. Prepare to take flight. Little look at the restrictions board for the Skyride here as well. Obviously no eating or drinking, no smoking and vaping. Remain seated at all times, 10 people per gondola. Push chairs and wheelchairs are allowed on and they can be taken in every gondola. It can't operate at night, and I'll come more onto the opening hours a little bit later in this video. And the Skyride is also not able to operate in high temperatures as well. So if it is too hot, you will find that it's closed. Yeah, they've done a full refurbishment of this. It's looking really nice, all painted up fresh. And I'm glad they've kept this up here because this is a good little fact. Now the actual system itself is manufactured by Poma, but yeah, this is a sample of some of the steel wire rope that's used on the Skyride. And yeah, this was manufactured by Bryden International, and look at that. So it kind of shows all the different rope kind of wrapped around each other there in the middle, and then how it ends up there at the top, you know, to make sure that it's all nice and secure for riders. Oh, it feels quite surreal walking in here again. Like I say, it really is an important part of transportation here at Alton Towers, but also it's the views that you can get from on here as well. Three different stations. We've got Tower Street here. You've then got the main drive station, as it's known internally. For the guests, it's known as Forbidden Valley, but main drive is basically where the whole system is controlled from. And obviously you've got the station on the edge of Dark Forest and the world of David Walliams, just by the Burger Kitchen up there. Yeah, and this is actually where they store all the gondolas, so at night they can take them off here, and like the whole storage area is located just down the back there. I'm looking forward to getting some views of Wickerman from on here again, to be honest, because the views of Wicker are fantastic. There's the manufacturer, Poma, on the side. These aren't actually the original gondolas that ran on here. They were changed in 2009. They used to be a bit of a different shape, looked a bit more retro, the old gondolas. Comment down below if you remember riding those. And then yeah, they replaced them with these in 2009, the multicoloured ones. And yeah, they do look a lot better, a lot more vibrant. And obviously on the old ones, wheelchairs and pushchairs couldn't go in every one. They could only go in certain ones that had less seats in, because basically the seats used to be in the middle. So yeah, I'm glad that obviously they updated those when they did. And here we go, just departing Tower Street. Sun's shining as well. Oh, nice to get these views. Wow, there we go, looking out over Mutiny Bay. Hey. Oh, look at Wicker there in the distance as well. This feels like such a long time since we've been on here. Yeah, end of 2022 when it was last open to guests. Yeah, great views looking out. I'm going to go kind of both ways. I'll show you the view out the other way on our way back down later. Yeah, not sure if you can hear it in the background, but there is some audio with a few facts as well about the resort. Look, it's running fast. Oh, and this is what I've been waiting for. And views of Wickerman again. Look at that. Brilliant. That is an awesome shot, isn't it? It's like Wicker Man was always designed, isn't it, to look so good from up here, especially Big Bob, the statue there. Brilliant. In the sunshine. See the monorail there in the background? Feed the flames. And obviously we head over Haunted Hollow, which we can see just below. We continue on down towards the main drive station. Windows are looking a little bit scratched still. It would have been nice if they could have cleaned these up a little bit. Not looking the best, some of the windows. A little bit hard to see out of some of them, unfortunately. But still, good to have it back. And yeah, I'll talk more about the actual transformation that they've done for this when we get down here to the end. I'm going to stay on here at this station and head over the gardens.
The whole family of them living under one of our rides by day before going out to play when night falls. It's always the quiet ones, I tell you. Alton Towers Resort has always been a bit bananas, and the same could be said of the 16th Earl during this time here. He managed to grow his own bananas in the garden conservatory. The time on the banana
Feels like it's running really fast, doesn't it, down to here?
The present day gardens are a celebration of Earls.
There we go. 2.5 minutes and we're already at this station in Forbidden Valley. Literally, that's like a 15-minute walk normally. You just save so much time with this being back open.
Skyride now poised to dock, but we hope you will not
There we go. So obviously exit here for Forbidden Valley, Nemesis Reborn, Toxicator. It's also like the closest spot as well if you're heading down into Gloomy Wood for the Curse at Alton Manor. But also you can remain seated and stay on here as well, which is good. Yeah, they're looking a little bit dirty on the gondolas, aren't they? Like, that's just like streaks running down, so they could do with a good clean. I mean, it's been closed for long enough. Stations are looking really fresh though. Love how they've painted them all up in here. They've also added like some stones outside over there too, so that looks really good. And yeah, this is like the main control area. That's why they call this main drive. Yeah, that's literally where they control the whole Skyride in there. And then yeah, you've also got guests queuing up here to get on, and this leads over towards the gardens. And yeah, you can exit the other station then down over by Dark Forest. And yeah, you can't stay on from that point. Hey, the bottle wine on YouTube. In the red gondola. Yeah, you can't stay on and keep kind of looping around. You can stay on in this station, and it's the same when you're coming back as well. But obviously, if you were getting on here and going down to Tower Street, you can't stay on in Tower Street and come back. And it's the same when you get over to Dark Forest and the World of David Williams as well. You do need to get off and walk back round if you do want to go on again. Yeah, so that's like the whole kind of control area over there. Oh, this is good service. Oh, it's really quiet here, so they let me have my own gondola all the way across the gardens, so we can take in these beautiful views of what really made Alton Towers the place it is today. The towers and of course the gardens as well. You get a bit of a launch here now, you ready? Hey! Leaving by main drive. Yeah, all these supports have all been painted up as well. I'll move over onto this side now because this is where you get the good views. Got some new signage in here as well, which is good. Beautiful. Yeah, the windows are looking a bit scratched, but like I say, these gondolas are from 2009. They've not like done any replacement work on the gondolas themselves. Oh, beautiful. Really nice looking out over the gardens there. Just trying to find part that's not scratched on the windows. Wow. It's beautiful. It's so nice just to have this back open. And yeah, they give you a bit of information all about the estate and go more into the history, which is awesome. It's nice because this is also the best time of the year now. We're into May to appreciate the garden. So hey, coming to a little bit of a stop there. Whoa, look at that, bouncing bouncers. Comment down below, by the way, if that'd scare you a bit, these bouncing. I mean, it's perfectly fine, like that's designed to do it. Obviously when it slows down a little bit. But yeah, they do bounce up and down. Now you might be thinking, why has it been closed for 2 years? You know, what have they actually been doing here? Now it's been a major investment to kind of secure its future. Obviously a system like this, it dates back to the 80s. It needed a lot of work. I believe there's been cable replacement going on, a lot of structural things that have been sorted out. And obviously when you're operating a cable car like this, a Skyride, you need to make sure that everything is 110%, don't you? You do with any ride, but especially something like this. You're going over 200 feet above the gardens there above this valley, so you've got to make sure that everything's right. And as much as maybe it could have been done in the space of a year, I think it probably could have been. You know, it took longer than it probably should have, but it is now back open, which I am pleased about. Yeah, it seems to be running quite well. I've not had like a full stop whilst I've been going over. And if you are on the Skyride and it does like fully stop, that's only whilst they're letting on wheelchairs or letting them off, so don't worry too much. Perfectly safe. And yeah, that's just all kind of designed to do that. Great views of Rita. It's not operational at the moment, it's been shut for a while. Having quite a bit of downtime. I think they're doing some replacement work on the catch car, from what I've heard. And 13 over there as well. Yeah, there's the catch car down there. It's all kind of got chains on it, so it looks like it. Oh, it's just nice to have these views again. Brilliant. It's good when Rita's coming in on the final turn into the brake run as well. Yeah, they could definitely give these a bit of a clean though. Obviously there's some scratches and things that you can't really get off, but yeah, like this is all just kind of dripping down. Every morning really could do with them all just having a bit of a clean off. Hopefully I'll get a bit of a cleaner gondola on my return trip. Here we are, we've arrived. Down into the third station, closest to Dark Forest and the world of David Williams, and Hex as well. Well, that was truly wonderful. Getting back on the Skyride for the first time in 2.5 years here at Alton Towers. The views that you get from there are fantastic. Love that view looking at Wicker Man, and especially if you time it great with the train coming down, you get the fire coming out of the shoulders of Big Bob, and you know what, it's brilliant. I love that angle. Then of course taking in the beauty of the Alton Towers estate, heading down over the gardens, the pagoda fountain. It wasn't on today, but normally when it is, you can kind of look down on that, over 200 feet above the gardens, which is lovely. You look across the conservatories, all the nice landscaping, it's great up there. And then you make your way into Dark Forest, where you get a brilliant view of Rita, probably the best view you can get of Rita in the park actually, from above and looking out over the launch area. Not operating today, but when it is, I look forward to watching Rita from up there on the Skyride again. And 13 as well looks good. Gotta say, really impressed. Nice to see it back open. The stations are probably the biggest visual improvement. A lot of the work that's been done over the past 2 years is, like I say, more on behind the scenes things that you wouldn't necessarily notice. But the fact they have done all the stations up, they're looking really good, nice and fresh. All the new signage looks a lot more modern, a lot more professional than it did before. And I think the signage is probably easier for people to see as well. So obviously we're getting around the park. It makes it so much easier, and you realise without the Skyride, you know how long it takes to walk around this park. I love walking around Alton Towers and getting my steps in, but having that option now to get back on the Skyride is fantastic. I think for me the only negative is the gondolas are looking a little bit dirty, not just the scratches, but also, you know, like there's all water and stuff dripping down them. They could do with being cleaned every day or every couple of days at maximum really, just to make sure that they're looking good. Now, something else that I did want to get in about the Skyride before I head back on there and do that journey back down to Tower Street are the opening hours. Now obviously Alton Towers isn't great when it comes to opening times anyway, and yeah, with the Skyride it's not actually going to be opening every day until 12 o'clock. Obviously the park always opens from 10 AM, so that's 2 hours after the park opens when the Skyride is going to be operational. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. I think, you know, maybe even 11 o'clock. I'm sure in the past it has opened at 11 o'clock, so an hour after the park's open. But yeah, I think 2 hours after opening is definitely a little bit too late for what is, you know, a vital piece of infrastructure here. And I say that a lot, but it really is. You know, it's a huge park, over 500 acres, a lot of people with pushchairs and wheelchairs, and well, it's like us, we'll be visiting in a few weeks with a pushchair. And you know, you want that ease of access to get round. It just gets you off your feet, doesn't it? It saves your legs for a little bit, like getting off your feet, getting on the Skyride and just taking in the beauty of Alton Towers. So I think that's a little bit disappointing. But not only that, they're actually closing the Skyride at 5 o'clock as well. So it's like yesterday when it opened, the time of filming this, it was its first day of operation. It was the 6 o'clock ride close and the Skyride closed at 5 o'clock. So it meant that, you know, it was only operating for 5 hours. So yeah, I do think that's a shame, especially because at the end of the day, a lot of people like to take the Skyride back to the main entrance, you know. And yes, you can exit the park by Forbidden Valley, which I'd always recommend doing. However, a lot of people still like to go and look in Towers Trade-In, or, you know, have a walk out the main entrance to the park. So I do think it's a shame that it is closing 1 hour before. Hey! But yeah, I guess we'll see if that changes. Maybe they're just trying to bed it in initially. But yeah, that's what the case is at the moment. Now, as I mentioned, when we're on there it can stop sometimes, like it has done now. Perfectly normal. Most of the time, that is just whilst they're getting wheelchairs on and off, and then you'll see it go back into operation again. Perfect day for it as well with the sun shining. It's beautiful. Right, I'm going to join the queue now. Only about a 5-minute wait by the looks of it. And then we'll do that journey all the way back. There we go. It's restarting now. When you hear the buzzer, means it's restarting. We'll do the journey all the way back and I'll get some more views looking out the other way this time when we head over, of course, Mutiny Bay and looking towards the towers because you get a great view from up there as well. Just waiting in the queue then now. And yeah, I just wanted to get in the sensory level for the Skyride here as well. This is obviously something that Alton Towers have implemented the past couple of years. So yeah, last time the Skyride was open, this wasn't a thing here at Alton Towers, but now all the different attractions have got like a sensory guide. And yeah, it's got like green, which is low sensory, yellow mild, and then red, which is high. And then it kind of lists all these different things. And yeah, as you can see, it doesn't go upside down. So that's green on there. So yeah, just these little things. I've always liked this station the most probably because I think it looks really good and it was completely rebuilt. There's been a couple of fires in the history of the Skyride, going back quite a while now, but yeah, this station and also Main Drive have both had major fires in the past and have been rebuilt. But when they rebuilt this one, they just did a really nice job like of all the columns around at the side, like all the details on the pillows, which look great. I'm not too sure how well it's picking up on the camera, but look at some of these windows. So many scratches, and yeah, really, it could do with replacing these. I mean, it's been closed for 2 years. You'd have thought that, you know, they would have done those, really. I know it would have cost quite a bit of money, but yeah, even these, you know, they do date back to 2009. I've got another gondola to myself again. And we're off. Hey, coming to a stop. Yeah, there are some wheelchairs just waiting to get on behind me, so yeah, as soon as they're on, we'll be back moving again. But yeah, nothing to worry about. Like I say, when it does stop, it's just like part of the standard procedure. Got the Skyride assistance number there and the gondola number, you know, just in case there's any issues. And here you got like the little emergency button up there as well, and the information that they've got if you do, you know, stop for an extended period. Yeah, they're new signs that they've added. No vaping and no smoking. Yeah, you can see from here like how dirty these look, and it's even like that. I mean, it reopened yesterday. That sticker clearly hasn't been replaced in the 2.5 years it's been closed. The gondolas really aren't looking the best on the inside. Fine on the outside, but yeah, on the inside not looking very good for that multi-million-pound investment. The audio is quite quiet in here as well. It would be nice if it was a bit louder. Oh, it feels like ages since we've had these aerial views of Dark Forest. Nearly took 5 minutes there. This is the one that really saves time in my opinion. That journey from Dark Forest over to Forbidden Valley, because that's quite a walk, isn't it? You know, you've either got to head all the way down the gardens and back up the other side with lots of steps and hills, or you've got to kind of walk all the way down to Mutiny Bay and round. So this is the one that really saved the time. You know, if you've just done 13, Rita, Hex, and then want to go over to Nemesis and Toxicator, then, you know, this is where it's a lot easier now to get over. You're on the Skyride. Yeah, really nice just to have it back in action. That's a great view, isn't it? See the Main Drive station peeking out on the other side. Beautiful, the Prospect Tower up there. Amazing. Yeah, when the pagoda fountain's on, this is where you'd see it like peeking up. Almost looks like it's going to touch the bottom of the gondolas. Obviously it's still maybe what, 30, 40 foot off, but yeah, when it is on it does look close. There's the pagoda just coming into view down there. There it is. Yeah, I think after this I'm just going to have a little walk down the gardens actually, and just go and get a few more shots of the Skyride operating from down below. So yeah, this is about a 3.5 minute trip across from the station by the World of David Williams over to the other side. Yeah, that's your view out that side. Yeah, not much to see over there. Just a beautiful Staffordshire countryside. Oh, here we go. We're coming to a stop right in the middle at the highest point. And here we go, arriving back at Main Drive. Yeah, we've only stopped just for like 30 seconds. Oh, there's nobody waiting to get on there, so I might end up with my own gondola going all the way back. We'll see. Might do. And we're back. Oh, doors are closed, and I've got it to myself again. Out of 4 trips that I've done here technically on the Skyride, 3 of them have on my own gondola. And yeah, it's really not too busy at all. In fact, the whole park isn't that busy at all, considering it is like the bank holiday weekend. It's the Sunday when I'm filming this, bank holiday Monday tomorrow. Obviously by the time you're already watching this, the bank holiday weekend will have gone. But yeah, it's not really too busy. Like, to be honest, it seems like the season's been quite a quieter start at Alton Towers compared to the past few years. Yeah, there's still been some like bigger queues in some areas, but we've not really been seeing like 90, 100 minutes and things, you know, which, you know, is good really. It's better for, yeah, getting more rides in if you come in here. Just letting off the wheelchair now behind. There you go, and you can hear the noise. That means the system will be starting up again. This looks the best it ever has done down here, because not only have they painted the supports, but also they've added like all these stones underneath. And yeah, this looks a lot better than it did before. Everything other than the gondolas themselves are looking good. Fine from the outside, but yeah, they could have really done with replacing the windows on these. I think that would have been a really nice touch. Saying that, I'm just glad that, you know, they have decided to keep it. I'm sure there was conversations about, you know, the long-term future. Is it worth them spending the money on it? And I think it definitely was, so I'm glad that they have. And it may have took longer than it should have, way longer than it should have, but at least, you know, it's back open in the end now, which we're all very pleased about. And yeah, we get some nice views as we're heading up this way now. Heading up towards Mutiny Bay. I do like how it tells you some facts and things about the area. And yeah, you can see Alton Towers itself over there in the distance. The conservatory's down there. Beautiful. Do you remember when they used to have the flume here and the log flume? Yeah, you'd look across to the side here and you'd see the drop. That first drop on the flume. So that's not like a full stop, it's where it just slows down a little bit. You do feel it bounce a little bit, I'm not going to lie, like you do feel it bounce. Like there we go now, we're bouncing quite a bit. Some people say it's the scariest ride at Alton Towers. That's why I'd love to know your thoughts down below. It's nice to have another ride back open that we can film on as well, and you can take photos on as well, which is great. Taking in the views. There we go. Starting up again. Oh, Wicker Man. Beautiful. What a great view. Looking at Wicker down there. Oh, that is fantastic. It's got to be the best part of the Skyride, that view now. I mean, the gardens are wonderful, they really are, but I do love that. Now, here's the view out to the other side that I didn't show you on my way down. There we go. Spinball Whizzer over there, the lake, the geese. And if I move the camera over to here, you'll see the towers over there in the distance. There they are. Battle galleons down there. Really nice to have this bag. Be having a lot of rides on the Skyride in the future. Just a shame, you know, about them opening hours. In fact, it's opening 2 hours after the park opening and shutting an hour early. I'm just hoping that that's temporary until, you know, it finds its feet again. Good to see it back open though. As we come down here, back to Tower Street after doing the full tour, both ways. And we're back. And I had a gondola to myself, lovely. It makes me really happy to finally see the Skyride back operational again here at Alton Towers. It's just a great ride and it's nice getting them views over the park. Was that transportation between the areas? In like less than 30 minutes, I've been all the way to the other side of the park and all the way back again. And as much as I don't think it needed to take 2 years, well, you've got to think they've had 3 closed seasons because it last operated in 22. So they had the 22 closed season, 23 and 24, plus 2 like full main seasons as well. You know, did it need to take that long? Probably not. But you know what? It's back in service now and that's the main thing. The biggest priority needs to be getting them windows cleaned. Should have been done really in all that time. But yeah, I think that's what really needs to happen now. And much like the monorail, the Skyride is one of the most iconic parts of Alton Towers. It just didn't feel right the past couple of years not seeing it going overhead. Even here, like in the Mutiny Bay courtyard, you know, it just didn't look right. Like just seeing the cables there and it not going over the top. So it's nice to have it back. And you know, you look back to like the 80s, you know, the amount of money it cost to put in this piece of infrastructure. I'm just so glad that Alton Towers decided not to give up on it, because they could have done. And I've got it operational again. So yeah, I'm really pleased. How good were them views of Wicker, man, from up there on the Skyride as well. Only 25 minutes for Wicker, not bad. It's the middle of a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, I feel like it's running like faster than it used to. Or maybe it's just because we've not seen it going for so long. It certainly looks like it's going quicker. Look at that, speedy. And that really is the thing with the Skyride. Not only is it great to have that transportation back and the views you get from it, but also the views looking at the gondolas as they're going over Alton Towers. Like I say, it's just iconic. So nice to have it back. What a lovely day for it as well. Beautiful sunshine. This spring weather has been great this year, hasn't it? There's the screw fountain down here in the garden. So obviously that was part of the inspiration for the name of the corkscrew, the first coaster to open here at Alton Towers back in 1980. And obviously you can still see part of that above the entrance to the park. Now, as much as the gardens have seen much better days, they're still really pretty and very much an underrated part of modern Alton Towers. You know, you don't see many people coming down here and walking through the gardens, which is a shame because they are beautiful. That's what I liked about when they did the Garden Lights Walk, you know, for Scarefest a few years ago, and then again at Christmas, because it was great how they used the gardens for that and it got people down here again, taking in its beauty. But what I am pleased about is that people can soar over on the Skyride again, looking down here. And like I said, the line actually goes across at just over 200 feet there. Really high up. And yeah, this is where you get a good kind of perspective of it when it stops and it bounces a little bit, like when you watch it from down here in the gardens. This is like that kind of good view of it because you're looking across. Oh, there we go. That's it. That was good timing. Hey, look at the wires now. Obviously, it's all perfectly designed to do that. Every gondola system in the world does that. It's just obviously when it stops, you've got the weight there and it bounces around a little bit. Just make sure though, if you are going on the Skyride, you remain seated. Not like the people are there in the blue gondola that are standing up. And here's one final look at the Skyride back in operation here at Alton Towers. Another one of my favourite views of it here with the pagoda fountain. Would have been even better if it was on today, the pagoda. But looking up there at the Skyride, yeah, the highest point on the whole system. And like I said, way back at the start of the video, when they first installed a cable car, a chairlift here at Alton Towers back in the 60s, it didn't used to come over the gardens here. It just ran from down by the entrance area, what became Tower Street, and of course, what later became Forbidden Valley. And then, yeah, in 87, when they built this system, this is the line what they put in, going across from Main Drive over into Dark Forest. But yeah, the whole system was completely replaced. In fact, the one that used to operate at Flamingo Land in Yorkshire up until a few years ago was the old Alton Towers chairlift system. So if you ever went on that, that was the one that used to operate here at Alton Towers. And obviously it got sold back then when John Broome owned the park. And obviously he spent a lot of money on the infrastructure here and put that in. But yeah, a little bit of history for you. Beautiful though, yeah, over 200 feet over the gardens. Nice to see it back in action. Well, that almost brings me to the end of this vlog here from the Alton Towers Resorts. I hope that you've enjoyed it, taking you along for the full experience and just kind of explaining a bit about the system. It's been out of action for that long. I just wanted to kind of give you a bit of a recap on the different stations, where you can stay on, where you've got to get off, and just kind of cover all of that. In general though, really impressed to see it back open. It's looking really good, especially like all the stations and actually from off-ride. Unfortunately, the gondola's doing a bit of a clean up. Should have been done during that time whilst it was closed. And as much as, you know, really it needed all the windows replacing, I understand that costs a lot of money and would have added even more cost to the infrastructure project that they've done over the past couple of years. But even just giving them a good clean, I mean, I could see there, like, yes, there's quite a few scratches, but a lot of the reason why I couldn't see out was more because of just like, you know, all like stuff dripped down and just needed a good clean up. So hopefully they can do that soon. It can just be done one night after ride close, get it all nice and clean, and ideally they need to be doing that on a regular basis just to keep it looking nice and fresh. But still, it's open, it's operational, and yeah, them kind of ride times are great. About 2.5 minutes from Tower Street to Forbidden Valley, 3.5 minutes over the gardens here between Dark Forest and Forbidden Valley, and yeah, great to see it back in operation. If you do enjoy our videos though, be sure to give them a big thumbs up. It really helps up the channel in many different ways. Subscribe if you enjoy the videos, get their notifications on. And yeah, I've not really done much Alton Towers content since the opening, so I've got a few things coming up this week, something a little bit different and very unique that I think a lot of you are going to enjoy, so stay tuned for that. Along with that, I'm going to do a full park vlog again in the next few days and lots more other updates too, so stay tuned for those here on Theme Park Worldwide. But that leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you in the next video.